Um, this is probably a good subject to talk about. When I'm on, so I'm just going to use me as an example. When I go online, I know I covered this subject because through what I've experienced by virtue of what I learned through that experience, and this goes back to childhood because I know an awful lot about trauma-based mind control, particularly with children. I'm very, very, very familiar with that. Okay, because that has everything to do with obedience training and the endorphins and the endocrine system, our glands, which is a harmonic reaction state. How we react, right, by communicating with others and how they respond back to us by virtue of what we communicate through sound and light, the burn patterns. And so like when I was a child and I realized I'm communicating through a sound box, even though I don't have to make a sound through a voice box, and I can just breathe a lotus breath and experience a state of love and joy without saying a word and just being totally silent and experience being totally loved and being totally relaxed, being what I am, which is what love is. It goes on forever. Okay? And so that's why when I was a child and I'm learning through all the others that I'm communicating with in elementary school, my parents' friends, my neighbors, everybody that I'm connected with that is a communicator, communicating what they're experiencing in the language that they use to communicate in sound and light burn patterns with us. So I was familiar with this territory. So when I would mention to other people the importance of this and say, I am not here to win a popularity contest with harmonic reactors, the cell, being in a non-reactive state, and then experiencing being in a reactive state, the polarized state, the ions. Yeah, and so this is crucial with children as it relates to stimulus, response, conditioning, and how children are programmed through obedience training of approval seeking, and how that relates to your own self-concept, the perception that we have of who we are, not who you are. So if what I believe about me, what I feel about me, if it becomes contingent about what another feels about me, you see how that works? Then I'm held captive by the approval-seeking process. And that's where we get into defending ourselves, our inner self, our inner cell, our true core encryption code of our Sun Temple spiritual essence, our solar essence, the essence of our spirit, and how that relates to the system that we are using to communicate with each other, where you see all the likes and the dislikes and all the logos. That's how it learns more about us, is through that process as a cellular state of awareness. By what we like, what we don't like, what colors we like, what color hair we like, what color skin we like, what color eyes we like, and how we react to the input, which is the mirror that is presented to us, and how we react to that input, that presentation. Those programs. Now I'm back to 9 years of age, put that TV set in the dumpster fire. I want to go out and be with Mama and Mother Earth and experience the essence of her spirit and go be out in nature, providing the electrical power to increase the torque speed conversion of eliminating programs that don't represent compatible codes. So those codes are not compatible with ours. So when you already know that before I was born, then I know what my job was when I came in here, which is repair codes, which are healing codes, which are instructions, as instructing ions. Instruct ions. The instruction sets of ions, as in chromo, timers, timing factors, mathematical visual firing factors, the factor, math factoring, force multipliers, dividers, reducers. Just go to a nearest fire station, mama, and go ask an engineer, a hydraulic engineer who's a pump operator. You got a reducer? Show me how you guys use a reducer with a 1-inch hose and a 1.5-inch hose, how you guys use reducers and increasers, like induction, reduction, increasers, increase the spin capacity. Show me. Oh, you want to go from 1.5 to 1-inch line? You want to go from 1-inch line to 3/4-inch line? You want to go to 1/2-inch? Pipe fitters, hydraulics, hydraulic lift, lifting the plates, reading the plates, stop bending the plates, torquing the plates, because the systems are not compatible with each other. And creating what? Distorted sound waves. That's the ripple effect. That's the bumpy ride. When I'm a little child, this is going to be a bumpy ride. CDT plate translations, reading the codes. So I thought I'd share that because I experienced that this morning. And I am very familiar with how it operates as the mirrors, right? What we're choosing to energize. You know, just like even when I go to look at certain things on here, it's no different than when I was a child with a newspaper. Don't they have any good news to tell us? No, that's not what they're selling. They're selling fear-based mind control. Those folks that work in those media outlets are instructed, and because they get a cut of the action. They get a cut of that pie. Follow the instructions, follow the orders. This is what you're going to put in their face. This is all the information. This is all the coded information. You know, just like what happens on the feed when I go up to look at certain things, most of the stuff that's put in my face is about shootings, car wrecks, fires, trauma. So you imagine when I was a child, it's just like massive trauma, trauma-based mind control everywhere, billboards, right? It's like they live in a trauma-based world, held captive by a trauma-based program. That's the alien machinery. So you know why that is. It doesn't have any feelings. So the only way that it can keep itself running is by killing numbers. That's what it does.